3, 2, 1.
Clap your hands first.
Hey! So, starting with introduction first. It doesn't matter who I am. What this body, what this mind is just really basically can be anyone in this place. So, whatever I say, my story, my name, it makes no sense, it doesn't matter. So let's start with this. What actually matter is the information I'm gonna give and how it's actually reflect within your mind, whether it gives you some insights, enlightenment, understanding of what to do, any kind of new different points of view on what you're supposed to perceive as life. So this is a trial to unite, in English language anyway, to unite the scientific knowledge of the consciousness of the mind, body, and relationships, and different teachings such as Buddhist teaching, Hinduist teaching, and different types of technique like Tantra yoga techniques to work with this phenomena, this body-mind phenomena. And for this we need to start basically questioning ourselves what is a spiritual path is, like what it is for, what we are doing there, and how does it work. So we're not switching on our wild imagination, like we are riding the unicorns in a space and imagining ourselves like super yogis, and you know, people like to do these things. So we want to avoid it, be more objective. And we're gonna start to understand what this phenomena is, starting with understanding of ego. What's ego? What is that? We call sometimes this thing, but most of us don't really understand what is that. And we can start with the understanding how it's been born, how it's been created first. There are several teachers, writers explain what ego is. Osho, for example, he called it in his book little dictator. It's when the child starts to learn that whenever he make a signal, like crying, everything been done for him. Like changing diapers, feeding, whatever it is. I'm uncomfortable, I'm screaming, and that's it. Everything is being done. This is a point where the small human learn that I am the center of the universe, and these two people, even more maybe, mother, father, or whatever they call them, they must serve me. This is the beginning of the ego. But some authors, Eckhart Tolle, for example, in his book New Earth, pay a lot of attention to the ego, and Tipping in his Radical Forgiveness book explain also pretty much. So I would recommend, I'm naming this book for you to read, because we're gonna talk in general now to create general understanding before retreat. You can understand, so it's easier for you to meditate, to see the things that you normally perceive as just normal things, no need to pay attention, or it's just beyond your awareness or mindfulness. So just general structure. According to the Eckhart Tolle, before Eckhart Tolle, we go to Stanislav Grof. Stanislav Grof is a doctor, scientist. I believe that psychology before was counting before Jung, and after Jung, then it was before Freud and after Freud. I believe now psychology can be counted as before Stanislav Grof and after, because he given a holistic approach to the psychology. It basically push the human being higher in understanding of the reality and himself as well. For this, he was studying the influence of LSD on human consciousness, but when it was prohibited, he started to search for the ways to change the state of consciousness with the physical abilities of the body-mind, but not using any substances. And he discovered the specific breath, holotropic breath, which is, it's a lot of type of breath based on the holotropic breath, but he was the original one who created this. It's a connected breath without pauses between inhalation and exhalation through the mouth. So while he was practicing this holotropic breath with his patients, he and his wife, they were practicing this together. So they have more than 5,000 patients, and they have a huge statistic. He's a scientist, so he knows how to do the thing, how to do the researches. And statistically, he created a theory of 4 perinatal matrices that actually explain the archetypal way of behavior of the human. But one more point of view on these prenatal matrices is the birth of the ego through the sensations and the experience of birth process. How we appeared in mother womb and how we come out. This is everything about death and life cycle, but in a level of this phenomena. I believe all the universe, including star systems, have the same structure of the same pattern of birth and life. So to start with, we have the first perinatal matrix, which is paradise, called paradise. And this perinatal matrix is the strongest, the longest one. It's while the fetus is within the womb, the female womb. The thing is, at that moment, at that time, the child, he does not have this thinking process as we do. He has no conceptual thinking. And more of that, the child in this situation, he actually perceives reality as a whole. There is no inner or outer reality for him. I'm everything. I'm just basically, I am. Meditation. It's a deep meditation that what in Buddhism they call Nibbana or Nirvana. In Hinduism, in the Holy Bible, it's explained as a heaven. All religions have this idea of the heaven, basically. So it's a pleasant statement of meditation, observation of everything that is, as it is. But that thing is broken by the second perinatal matrix. But before we come there, we want to understand that while the person in a paradise matrix, whatever his mother experience, whether it's stress or comfort, it already affects the future child, the future human. If the mother is stressing out because of any kind of conditions, situations in her life, she creates a hormonal level in her body which affects the child. And the child experiencing the same that the mother experienced. It's a heritage. That's how DNA being reproduced for the new child. And here, a newborn human will learn whether the reality is friendly or it's dangerous. It creates a very foundation in this level, whether I'm gonna fight for my life or I'm gonna just be relaxed and live and enjoy. From esoteric point of view, we might want to remember that the child is not a victim in this situation. The child attracts to the mother, let's say the soul of the child attracts to the soul of the mother for the reason. There is a reason, there is a similarity of the spirits, of the experiences that need to be gained from this mother. So that's why we are not victims of the life. We choose, maybe we don't remember how we do that, but we choose to experience this specific life incarnation by this mother. So the second perinatal mattress starts when the waters just come out. The first contractions of the womb happens. What child experiences in these moments? Basically, he experiencing sensations. Before he was meditating, there is no external or internal, and now I feel something. And this is the sensational level of the body, which is perceived as external, and my relationship to that sensations, which is internal. That's how duality being created, first steps. And ego become shaped my relationships to the sensations, what feelings and emotions I'm experiencing, actually together with the mother. How mother reacts on her first contractions, child will also experience, because this is a connection, this is strong connection. They are one until the 3rd month of after birth. So there is no difference between mother and child on this level. So this perinatal mattress can create the worry itself, because contractions happens, but birth roots are still not open. So there is no way out. And this archetype that worries, but I don't know what to do, where to go, because there is no exit, there is no decision, there is no right thing to do. This being trapped, you know, all of you know these situations in life, you're experiencing this on the level of the feelings. And then, so this is an archetype that second perinatal expulsion from the paradise called. It's archetypal thing that you experience as a fetus, but then that archetype situatively create different situations in the process that we call life. We're going to experience it again and again, and this is a circling thing. So the face is going to change, the decoration is going to be changed, the feeling itself, archetype going to be the same. It's very important to see it. So here in this perinatal mattress, the future child may learn the concept, the idea that God does not love me. I did something or that actually created my exile from paradise. I'm not there anymore. I don't understand why I was pushed out from the heaven. Why do I need to experience these things? And here, an ego starts to be shaped, whether it's going to be reactive ego or it's going to be a suppressed ego. Depends on the mother-child connection and the hormones and feelings they're experiencing together at these moments. So, the third perinatal mattress, when the birth roots are open. The archetype can be seen as the light at the end of the tunnel. So this feeling, like, I understand this way, I need to go, I need to break through, or whatever, depends on the ego qualities, but I know where to go at least. So this mortal combat, this fight, potentially is dangerous for the health of the child and mother together. This combat starts. And on a level of archetype, the child may see it, because he has no conceptual thinking at all, right at the moment. He can see it as mythological situations, like fighting with the huge monsters. It can be being consumed by a monster of Hydra, or falling down in a water vortex or something like that, while being sucked into birth roots from the womb. During this perinatal mattress, the child experiencing a lot of different sensations. The pressure of the birth roots is great. The 10-12 atmospheres on the head or on the shoulders, so it's tough, and it lasts like 8 to 12 hours average. This is ego being shaped, how I am as a fetus, as a child that going through the birth process, experiencing these sensations, overwhelming sensations, painful, unpleasant, sometimes here in this prenatal matrices, in the third one, any deviant behavior can be created. For example, the pain is unpleasant sensations, or the pain are that strong. So according to the duality, it may go like, for example, this is a neutral point. This is a biggest point, like highest level of emotions. This is a duality. From the neutral, let's say this is a positive. This is a orgasm level here. This is just pleasant sensations. This is from neutral negative part. This is just slight irritation and pleasant sensations. And here is a rage or absolute pain. So this is a point of transition. Sometimes this point of transition can be overcome by consciousness. And it's extremely painful for many minutes or maybe even hours. Then its nervous system give up. And then it start to feel pleasure. And here we are, the participant of BDSM clubs, just born, just because it's very unpleasant sensations for a long time. By saying this, I want to actually stress that we no need to judge anyone. Whatever destiny here we are playing, it's a game. It's being created during birth process. We are not kind of guilty or responsible for it, because if you feel guilt, it's just the second prenatal matrix. God doesn't love me. He expelled me from heaven into the birth of this hellish reality or whatever. Please remember about this. So in this third prenatal matrix, the mortal combat, so-called, we may have stronger subdivision into the reactive ego or suppressed passive ego. This pretty good explained by Richard Rudd in his book Genekeys. He's explaining about shadow behavior that can reveal the gift and then lead to siddhi. So please read that book, it will explain you a lot. The fourth prenatal matrix is actual birth process. It starts with the child's scream, and he is experiencing, after hours of tough sensations, he experiencing higher gravity, loud sounds, probably cold, different temperature from mother body, and many other new things. And this archetypically can be manifested in a reality by this feeling, specific feeling that it's too much. The world is too much for me. Much information, too much sensations, too much people. I just don't want to do anything. And depends on the ego. I will just sit in a corner somewhere, just watching YouTube, eating popcorn, or I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna make a business. I'm gonna overcome this and like these things. So here is ego being shaped by sensations and my relationships to that sensations. And furthermore, we go to the contours of the consciousness. That's gonna be next session.